Hey everybody, Rick here from Save vs. BS. And I've seen a lot of videos about how to be a good dungeon master, and I've even made a few. But let's talk about being a good player. Not a powerful player, not a rules lawyering wizard, not the guy who built the insane rogue paladin smite sniper combo. I'm talking about the kind of people that other players want at their table. The kind of player who makes every game better, not just for themselves, but for the whole table. Let's break this down. I've got 10 or 12 things that make a great D&D player. Whether you're playing D&D 5, Deathbringer, any OSR retro clone, or even some homebrew goblin piss in your basement. A great player plays to lift the table, not just themselves. A great player, they don't hog the spotlight, they share the spotlight. They embrace the moments of others. They lean in and they cheer on that they're fellow players. They set someone else up to shine. They don't treat the party like it's just background noise when they're doing their main character thing. D&D is a team sport. If you're only showing up for your personal story arc, you're not even playing D&D. You're doing basically a one-man show with unpaid extras. A great player listens like it matters. They are engaged. Even when it's not their turn, they're paying attention. They're not scrolling on their phone, zoning out until initiative rolls around. They are in the scene, reacting, listening, and remembering. Because if you don't care what's happening when you're not rolling dice, you're missing more than half the game. Now, this one's huge. A player knows the game isn't on the character sheet. Great players don't just read their options off the menu. They think, what would my character actually do? They kick down doors, they climb walls without a rope, they bribe guards with bad poetry and a bottle of rot gut whiskey. If the only moves you ever make are the ones written on your character sheet, you're playing checkers. You're not playing a role-playing game. So ask your DM, can I try this? They'll probably say yes, or they'll just give you a role that makes it fun either way. A good player plays the character, not the build. Are you making decisions because they're cool or because they're correct? Good players take the flaw option, the risk option, the one that tells the best story. Maybe your character's terrified of the dark, so they don't want to go into the cave, even though they know the loot is in the cave. It's awesome, it's real, it's self-sacrificing, and that's something a real person would do in that situation. Nobody remembers who dealt the most damage, they remember who made the boldest call. Stay present and prepared, and don't be the guy that shows up late with an empty character sheet, says, well, wait a second, what's going on? Let's play catch up. Bring your dice if you know there aren't some already here waiting for you. Know what your spells do. You don't have to be a rules expert, you just have to care enough to keep the game moving. And this one's huge also. It's a collaboration with the Dungeon Master, not against the Dungeon Master. Your Dungeon Master is not the enemy. They are your world builder, your referee, your improv partner. If the DM offers a plot hook, bite the hook. If they introduce a weird NPC, talk to the NPC. When the tone shifts, shift with the tone. Trying to outsmart or break the Dungeon Master, that's amateur hour. Play with the game, not against the game. And lean into the fiction. This world isn't a vending machine full of XP and magic swords. Treat it like a real place. How many magic swords have you actually found in real life? Probably almost none. If the Dungeon Master describes a weird stain on an altar, maybe don't ignore it. Ask questions, get curious. Let your character be a person, not just a tourist with a sword. Be somewhat familiar with the rules, but don't weaponize the rules. You should know how your own stuff works. Don't be the person who brings the whole game to a halt because you found a line in the handbook that contradicts the DM's ruling. Rules are important, but rulings beat rules every time if it makes the session smoother and more fun. A good player can read the room. Read the room, match the tone. If the party's exploring a haunted orphanage, maybe don't go full slapstick bard for 5 whole minutes straight. And the reverse is also true. Don't suck the fun out of the table when people are riffing on something silly. Good D&D is about the tone balance. Know when to joke, know when to lock in. This is a collaborative game, which means the story isn't just about you, it's about the table. Think about character arcs, themes, the big payoffs. And most importantly, leave space for others to be awesome. If everyone gets at least one legendary moment, you're doing it right. A great player takes action even though it might kill them. This is the one that separates the tourists from the legends, okay? Great players act. They don't stall for 10 minutes. Oh, I don't know, do we go in? Yes, go in. They go in, they take risks. They grab the cursed sword, and they ask the Banshee what she wants, and if it kills them, good! Dying in Dungeons & Dragons is not failure. Not if it's memorable, and not if it fits the story. The best stories you'll ever tell about D&D aren't about the loot that you got. They're about the time you charged the ogre to save the wizard, and you went down like a hero in a blaze of glory. Take the shot, that's where the real magic happens. The last thing for this video is that the best players play the long game. The best players aren't just thinking about what their character wants right now. They are plotting and planning and thinking about where their character is going. That means growth, change, regret, maybe even redemption. And if you live long enough, realize you don't need a tragic backstory, you just need a trajectory. Good D&D arcs are earned. They're not pre-written. You can't just make it up on the fly. You evolve as you play. So that's really it. I think it was 12 things. I could probably come up with 50 more. None of them require min-maxing, none of them require metagaming, and none of them are about memorizing the rules. It's about showing up and giving a damn, helping everyone tell a better story. What is your favorite trait of a good player? Drop it in the comments, and if you got a horror story about a player who did none of these, definitely tell us about that too. Hit the like, hit the sub if you want more breakdowns like this. Being good at D&D isn't about the dice, it's about knowing what you want to do when you roll them. Please do all the things. Thank you for watching. Keep rolling high, y'all.